Greetings, fellow RotoBallers. Here we go. Two of our most overvalued and undervalued quarterbacks of the fantasy season. And let's kick it off with one guy who I think is overvalued. Sure, he's an actor. Sure, he's a dancer. Sure, you see him on the TV all the time. You say to yourself, hey, this is a triple threat, Renaissance man. Well, this guy right now is QB 21 in most fantasy leagues, and RotoBaller Rankings has him as QB 27. Look, no one in the NFL wanted to have this guy on their team, so why do you want him on your fantasy team? I'm talking about Baker Mayfield, people. Now, look, he's on his second team right now. First round starters that go to second teams normally do not perform very well, Ryan Tannehill aside. Look, even when he was at his best, he was only maybe popping 230, 240 passing yards a game. Can Baker Mayfield even be a QB 15 this year? I sincerely doubt it. That's why Baker Mayfield at QB 21 is a overvalue.
This quarterback, Joey, seemed like he was going to be a value, and yet he's creeped his way back up to QB 10 in consensus ADP. RotoBaller has him as QB 13. We don't even think this dude's a QB 1, and why would we? He plays on a team which played at the third slowest pace in the NFL, and he just lost his best wide receiver, the guy who is responsible for 30% of his touchdowns. Yes, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, and yes, you're on ayahuasca if you think going from the best receiver in football to Allen Lazard isn't going to affect the MVP from a fantasy perspective, of course. Now, we're not saying do not draft him, but it's got to be the right price. And for us, anything before the double-digit rounds needs to be discount double-checked. Now, let's talk deals and steals. What if I were to tell you that your ideal backup QB is currently a value on draft day? We have him ranked as QB 22, and yet he's going off the board at QB 28. And what if I were to tell you that last year, this guy was third in rushing amongst all quarterbacks for the first 5 weeks before he got hurt. Now he's healthy. He's got a new offensive-minded head coach playing behind a revamped offensive line. Now, what if I were to tell you that I'm talking about Daniel Jones from the New York Giants? Wait, guys, before you leave. DJ is a screaming value and the ideal backup fantasy quarterback with some great weapons and just so happens to have PFF's easiest rated schedule. Sign me up.
RotoBallers, it is time for our biggest QB value, and this is a guy who, Dave, I just recently watched in the House of Dragon. There's a new villain called the Crab Feeder, and there just might be a new Crab Feeder coming back resurgent into the NFL this year. What if I told you there was a certain guy who right now is ranked as QB 23 in most fantasy rankings, but is QB 18 in RotoBaller rankings? This is a guy who was 5-2 last year as a starter before he got hurt. He averaged 242 passing yards a game over the last 3 games before he got hurt, and was on pace for 30 touchdowns. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the man in New Orleans, Jameis Winston. Now, look, I think he is a QB2 in most leagues, and 2 quarterback formats, you have to pick this guy up because with Chris Olave, possibly, maybe a healthy Michael Thomas, Jameis Winston can jump up and surprise people, maybe put up top 12 numbers on a weekly basis, needs to be rostered, and a QB 18 compared to 23, that is a crab worth stealing, my friends.
The man got LASIK, and he can finally see who's on his team and who's not. So now I only have eyes for him to return to his 2019 form.
If you liked what you heard and saw here at RotoBaller, click like and subscribe below. We'll be back.